Okay, good morning. So today we're looking at question 6 of the Metro Central District Common Paper of September 2021. We're looking at the finance question. The question says determine the rate of interest. So they want you to calculate R per annum. If it's compounded quarterly for 24,000 Rand to accrue to 374,522.21 over a 5-year period. Okay, the rate of interest per annum. Alright, so they want you to calculate your R. So since it's compound interest, we must use the compound formula. So A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent. So it has to accrue to that amount. So that's your A value, 374,522 Rand. 21 cents, your P value is 240,000 into 1 plus. I is what we're calculating, remember it's compounded quarterly to the exponent 4 times in 5 years. Okay, so in pursuit of calculating your I, I'm going to divide both sides by 240,000. Okay, so it's going to be 240,000, so that cancels. So what I have now is 1 plus I over 4 to the 20 equals 374. 522, comma to 1 over 240,000. The next step is to get rid of the 20, so I got the 20th root, both sides. Okay, so it's 1 plus I over 4 equals the 20th root of 374, 522, comma 21 over 240,000. But of course you could have put this calculation in the calculator already, this part here. You could have calculated that and used the answer button on your calculator if you prefer doing that. Okay, no problem with that. Thereafter I'm going to take the 1 over. If I take the 1 over, it will become minus 1. Not so? So that's going to become minus 1. And I can go further and multiply the whole term by 4 to get rid of that 4. Okay? Just multiply this by 4 as well. But as I said, if you're more comfortable using the calculator, no problem. Okay? So that would be I. So we can punch this whole thing into the calculator. Okay? Let's get this here quickly. To the calculator. So it would be this. All clear? So we say 20,000. Now the 20th root, or first the bracket. The 20th root of, inside the bracket, it's 374,522.21 over 240,000. Okay? Minus 1. That answer must be multiplied by 4. It gives you 0.02, right? But I want the rate. 3 times that by 100 times by 100. That gives you 9%. Okay? That is 9%. So in question 6.2, we are told that Elita is planning to buy a car, advertised at 210,000. She is able to make a 10% deposit and take a loan for the balance to be repaid over a period of 6 years in equal monthly installments. So when it says equal monthly installments, whenever you see that, it's either going to be PV or FV. So it's payment, so it has to be PV. Okay, 16% compounded monthly. She starts paying the loan 1 month after the loan has been granted and continues for 6 full years. So there's no video. They would always say it starts payment 1 month after it was granted. If it says that, then there's no variation on in. Okay? So there's no +1 or anything, or a delay in start of payment there. Okay? So the first question says, determine the amount of the loan after deposit has been made. So the amount of the loan, of course, is paying 10% deposit, which means to say the PV value is actually 90% of 210,000. Okay, so then you put on a calculator. Of course, there's another way you could have done it. I'll do it afterwards. So it's simply going to be 210,000 multiplied by 0.9. So that gives you 189,000. 189,000. Right. Or we could have said 210,000 multiplied by 10, which is 21,000 rand. That is your deposit amount. And then you say your PV or the amount needed, loan amount, is going to be 210,000 minus 21,000. Gives you 18900. Okay. So either way, you're going to get your full mark. Okay. But it's 1 mark, so I would assume that you would have used this method. It's going to be much easier. In number 2, we are told then determine equal monthly payments. So that follows a formula. PV is equal to X into 1 minus 1 plus I to the minus N over I. Okay. So your PV, the loan amount is 189,000 equals, we're calculating X, so that is your unknown, 1 minus 1 plus I, which is 16%, so 0.16 over 12, because that's monthly, the exponent negative 12 times, determinant equals over 6 years. Okay, and this is all over I, which is 0.16 over 12. Okay. So now what could happen is, you could calculate this whole thing on the calculator, and then just divide both sides by that answer. And that is the route I'll be following in this question. Otherwise, you've got to cross multiply them and done this one calculation would also suffice that. Okay, but something else I want to indicate here. You're using the answer button. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the calculator. So it's 1 minus, open brackets, 1 plus 0.16 over 12 to the exponent negative 12 times 6 over 0.16 over 12. That gives me an answer of 46.01. Okay, so that is X times 46.10, and the number of course carries on. Okay, now very important here is that when I work out X, I'm going to divide both sides by 46.1 in that answer. I'm going to tend to use the answer button here and not type in 46.01. Remember, if you type answer, you press answer equal, that's a last answer calculated on the calculator. Okay? So if you now say 123 over that last answer calculated gives me 4,099 rand and 76 cents. 4,099 rand and 76 cents. Okay, so that is a monthly installment at this stage. Okay. Then let's just get to the other part of the question. Then in question 6.2.3, we are told that after 2 years, she changes to a different job and her salary increases. Okay, she's now able to increase her monthly payments to 5,500 per month, which means to say she's paying more. So the time period, of course, is going to be shortened. Okay, given that the balance on the debt at this stage is so. Here in this question, you don't have to work out the balance on the loan. Okay? Now, some learners went and worked out the balance on the loan. It's not needed here, because the balance on the loan is given to us. Remember, what is given, that is what must be used. Okay? So 144,661.94 is given to us as the balance on the loan. They want to know how many payments will she still need to make to settle the loan if the interest does not change. Okay, so the interest does not change. We have to consider the previous interest, which is 16% compounded monthly. Just write this. I is going to be, if I make a mistake here, that's coming from the previous question. Okay, or the introduction to the sum. Since it's payment, again PV. So PV is going to be x into 1 minus, you don't have to write the formula down again. Okay, just writing it, so when we do our substitution, you can see what we have. So then the outstanding balance is 144,661.94. That's 144,661.94 cents, equals the monthly installment, which is 5,500, into 1 minus 1 plus I, which is 0.16 over 12, to the exponent negative 12 times n. Okay, remember I'm calculating n. You could have just written n here, negative n as well, because we're not going to divide by 12. Okay, so they want to know how many payments will she make. Can you see that? So in other words, we're calculating just that value as it is, or negative 12 times n. We're not going to divide by the negative 12. Okay? Because if we divide by the negative 12, then you have calculated your time in years. Okay? And that wasn't the question. The question was the number of payments. So the first thing we need to do is divide by 5,000 both sides. 5,500, sorry. So that cancels. No, I made a mistake. Talking too much. Just check if I didn't make a mistake. No. I didn't put over 12 over the interest here, which is 0.16 over 12. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cross multiply. So that's going to be 144,661.94 times 0.16 over 12. Then I have 5,500 times that. Then in the next step I would divide by 5,500 both sides. Then I'm left with 1 minus that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the negative one, the 1 over becomes minus 1. Okay. Then I have this left. Okay. Just take the other color then. Then I have this left. Okay. Then I'm going to get rid of the negative by putting a negative in front. Again, people, if you can use your calculator and doing the steps in the calculator, there's no problem with that. Okay? Absolutely none. You won't lose any marks. Just keep on using the answer button. So 0, over 12, the exponent negative 12. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch this part into the calculator now. Okay? So when I apply logs, I don't want to have this bulky calculation written there. Okay? But again, if you decide, you can work with it, no problem. If you want to work with the decimals, no problem. Okay? Whatever suits your method of working should work for us. Okay? So we've got negative, open brackets, 144,661.94 times, okay, there's no fraction for, oops, times 0.16 over 12, 5500 minus 1. Okay? So that gives us an answer of 0.649. Okay, did I miss anything here? No. So it's going to be 0.469. Now, of course, the number carries on. Okay. Equals 1 plus 0.16 over 12 to the exponent negative 12 in. But now, as you can see, the unknown is in the exponent. So we'll have to apply logs. Okay? So we'll now say, let's move this down a bit, negative 12n is equal to, remember the base remains the base. So it's log 0,469 and the number carries on. Base 1 plus 0,16 over 12. Okay, again we put it in a calculator. We put 0, we put this log base 1 plus 0.16 over 12. Okay, you can put the 0 in front of it, doesn't matter. And that answer was the answer we calculated. So it gives you negative 32,6 months. Negative 32,6. So it's negative 12 in equals negative 32.6, and of course number goes on. Divide by negative, so 12 in is equal to 32,6 months. Okay, so therefore you're going to have 32 months in which you pay the full amount of 5,500, and 1 month in which you pay part of 5,000. So the last payment won't be a full payment of 5,500. Okay, so you're going to have 32 full payments and 1 payment of less than 5,500, and it will be part of that payment. Okay, sometimes they would ask you to work out the final payment. Then you're going to work out the balance of the loan at 32 months. Okay, then it draws an interest for 1 month using the compound formula. For 1 month, okay, and then that would be your final payment at the 33rd month. Okay.